I'm just waiting for a load, so I thought it might be a good opportunity to actually show you guys my truck, which is something I haven't done yet. You've all seen videos of my truck from the inside, but not a lot from the outside. This particular truck is a 1999 Freightliner Fld 120 is the model it's called. It's fitted with the larger 14 litre Detroit Cummins Series 60. This one's rated at 550, I do believe, and it's adequate for 95% of the driving that I do. Not a bad old truck. Fitted out with alloys. Now I'm going to show you the outside first before we go inside. As you can see, pretty bloody big bunk. These are known as a condo bunk, and once we get inside you'll see just how much room they have. Good storage underneath the bunk. I've only got a door on this side, on the driver's side. It's got all my oils and fluids and crap and stuff. Got the battery box here on the side. Tarp rack here on top of the battery box. Up here we've got a headache rack or headboard, and this is where I store all my dogs and chains, bungee straps, pretty much anything else I need for tying down loads and stuff like that. And it's also protection just in case some load slides forward into the cab. It's got good sized fuel tanks, which is something that a lot of the trucks over here don't. I don't know if it's because of weight and they want to run light or whatever. This one has two 570 litre fuel tanks, so she can certainly cart a bit of fuel. It's a bit unusual for trucks over here to such big tanks. Over this side of the truck, as I said, there's no door on the toolbox. If you want to get into the stuff that's in the toolbox on this side, you actually have to lift the bunk up. It's on gas struts. This is my main toolbox here behind the fuel tank on the right hand side. That's where I keep all my nylon straps for tying the loads down, and also the edges to stop the tarp from rubbing on the edges of the straps rubbing through. And also thought I'd show you what I was talking about earlier with the sliding turntable. You can see here, turntable slides up and down on this sort of this tooth rack, and these teeth here are actually where the locking pins lock into. There's your air line. As I said, when you flick that switch underneath, a little air cylinder up underneath the turntable there pulls the locking pins and allows it to be able to slide. So yeah, something different. As you can see, I've got mine set dead centre, exactly halfway between both axles. It seems to be the best place for this truck to ride, and also put the weight on the steer properly. Yeah, that's pretty much my truck, guys. So you've seen inside, outside. It's got standard airliner Freightliner suspension, which is pretty much similar to what all the Freightliners in Australia have got on. No difference there. Thought I'd show you a bit of the inside of my truck now. There's nothing much difference except for the fact the steering wheel's on the other side. The dashboard's pretty much exactly the same as you'd find in any bloody truck in Australia. A few little noticeable differences. Down here, got a turbo boost gauge, which is handy to have. Yeah, no pyrometer, but they got the boost gauge, and it's good to know how your truck's running. You can use it for a couple of different things. Of course, being a Freightliner, one thing I like about them is they have a air gauge on the suspension pressure on the drive, so you can sort of estimate how much weight you've actually got on the drive by looking at your air gauge. And the only other truck I've driven that had this was a Century class Freightliner. It seems to be something that Freightliners have got. So yeah, besides that, everything else is the same. One quirky little thing they have over here is this switch here called an interrupt or interrupter, and when you push that down, like all the other switches go up to turn things on, but this one goes down. And what it does is if you've got your headlights on and you flick that, your headlights stay on, but all your marker lights, your clearance lights, your side lights, your tail lights, everything go out. And I think they use it for, it's a way of like waving, saying thank you, or sending a message to other truck drivers behind you or in front of you. So that's a quirky little thing they have over here that we don't. And another thing that many of you probably have never seen is this here, although I haven't had to use it yet. The fifth wheel slider, that's right. The turntables aren't fixed over here. You can actually slide them up and down the chassis. You flick that switch and a little air cylinder unlocks the locking pins, and then you just lock the trailer brakes on and drive forward or backs to to slide the turntable. Quite an unusual little thing. But yeah, besides that, she's pretty much just a basic old truck. One thing I don't like is, yeah, typical Freightliner thing or American thing, is the hazard lights here on your indicators. You pull the switch out, and to switch them off, you got to turn your bloody indicator either way to cancel them. I've never liked them, and I'm happy to stick with the old hazard lights like we got back home. CB, and yes, it is a CB 27 meg. As I said once before in one of my videos, I can't believe they actually still use these things. This particular model, I think they stopped making about 30 years ago in Australia. Now, one thing I didn't show you is this here. This is the Qualcomm unit, and this is how we communicate with our dispatchers at work. It's got a full QWERTY keyboard. It's like a typewriter, and you can send messages like email messages backwards and forwards between work. And so this is how we stay in contact, amongst other ways. Very, very handy little unit to have. Works by satellite. Now we'll have a look at the real inside of my truck. Heaps and heaps of storage space. At the moment I'm actually standing up right next to the gear stick between the seats, and I'm certainly not bumping my head on the ceiling. It is a very high roof in here. Got all this storage space up here at the front. Storage pockets in the side, both sides. We go around here, cupboard space. Now this is where I put all of my clothes. Jeans down the bottom, work shirts there, coats and jumpers and stuff up there. Down here is all my cleaning stuff, dunny roll, hand wash, bloody garbage bags, all that sort of stuff. Over this side's where my food is. That's all my tin food and stuff there. That's where I usually put all my bottled drinks. That's up there is actually all my toiletries and stuff. More cupboard space here for clothing. There you go, I turned on the lights, we can see a bit better now. More space down here. That gap down the bottom there, that's where my fridge goes. And in behind the curtain here is where I store all my camera gear and my dirty clothes and stuff. The old Aussie flag flying proudly up there. Good fluoro lighting, 2 up there, 1 down the bottom bunk. I can actually stand on my bed, jump up and down, and I do not hit my head. So that just goes to show how high the bunk is in this truck. Plenty of room. It's a king size single, or what we used to call a 3/4 bed. Heaps of room, very comfy, and I certainly got no complaints about the interior of the truck. It is a double bunk. That's actually in behind my flag. There is another bed that folds down. Only problem is with it, the mattress is very thin. I don't think it'd be very comfortable to sleep up there. This mattress down here is a proper inner spring Sealy Posturepedic for my back. Absolutely beautiful. And as I said, I got no complaints about this old truck. She's certainly got plenty of room inside, and I'm quite happy with it. Even a bloody little coat hook there to hang up your shirts and stuff.